presence of a quorum. Okay. Action items. Note the following items require action by the board. Approval of the minutes of the July 7th, 2022 meeting of the fund.
So moved.
Thank you. Any amendments to the minutes? Any discussion? Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved, thank you. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries unanimously. I will now move the second resolution and present item 2 for the board's consideration. Okay, the trustees of the CUCF Audit Committee consider one item at its meeting on October 20th, 2022 at 9 a.m. Here is the resolution listed in the board meeting agenda as item 2. 2, resolution of City University Construction Fund approving the annual certificate for fiscal year 2024, number 2390. Resolved that the fund's Board of Trustees approved the annual certificate for fiscal year 2024 dated October 20th, 2022 in the form attached here too. And be it further resolved that the acting chairman of the fund is hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver the annual certificate on behalf of the fund. I hereby request your approval of this calendar item. That concludes my report. Thank
The
you.
script next to that one is the audit committee. Apologies.
The one you're reading is for the full board?
Oh, it's for the full board?
What I
I'm
did-
sorry.
what I
I'm
did-
sorry.
And I think we approved the minutes of the July full board meeing rather than the minutes of the
Okay,
October
let's start at the
21st.
beginning then. I got,
Sorry. Yeah, it's the pile to your left, the audit committee script and the audit committee.
all right. Let's go. We're going to take it from the top again. Yeah, just so we get it
My
right.
late mother-in-law would say, this time with feeling. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to silence their phones. I'm calling the meeting to order. I note the presence of a quorum. Action items. Okay, 1, resolution of the Audit Committee of the City University Construction Fund approving the minutes of the Audit Committee meeting of October 21st, 2021, number 2389. Any amendments to the minutes? Any discussion?
No, so moved.
So moved, thank you. Calling for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Recording
Aye.
in progress.
Carries unanimously. Resolution number 2, resolution of the City University Construction Fund approving the annual certificate for fiscal year 2024, number 2390. Resolved that the fund's Board of Trustees approves the annual certificate for fiscal year 2024 dated October 20th, 2022, and the form attached here too. Be it further resolved that the acting chairman of the fund is hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver the annual certificate on behalf of the fund. I hereby call on Mohammed Atalia, to Executive Director of the Construction Fund, to explain the item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Pursuant to Section 62747 of the New York State Education Law, the fund is required to produce an annual financial certification. The certification is a letter provided to 6 New York State and city agencies, and the purpose of which is to forecast the debt service due to DASNY for fiscal year 2024 on debt issuances prior to the utilization of personal income tax bonds, and the tuition and fees to be collected from the university during the next 2 fiscal years, and 3, the fund's cost of administration for fiscal year 2024. It is required that the fiscal year 2022 audited annual financial statements accompany the annual certification when it is sent to the agencies. This year's annual financial statements were prepared by CUCF and audited by the accounting firm Mitchell Titus, who are now in their 3rd year as the fund's auditors. Mitchell Titus will now provide a full presentation of their audit findings and results for the fiscal 2022 financial statements. Speaking on their behalf is Ms. Ozma Malik Dorman, who is the audit partner for the fund's audit, and she is available online. Is there a presentation?
Yes, there is. Who's
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can we share our screen or, okay, there we
Yes.
go. All right, great, wonderful. Again, my name is Uzma Malik Dorman, partner with Mitchell Titus. We completed the 2022 audit of the financial statements of the City University Construction Fund. So we expressed an opinion on the financial statements of CUCF for fiscal year 2022. Okay, you're blowing it up, okay. And we issued an unmodified or clean opinion on the financial statements. The tax services are currently being provided and will be complete in the near future. In fact, Fred Davis, who's the tax partner, will be participating in person for the 9:30 meeting. There were no recorded or unrecorded misstatements during the audit, and we did not identify any control deficiencies. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze, or maybe not. I have a little cold. So, okay, next page. So this is kind of a summary of our audit approach. We go through a few different phases, beginning with planning, where we really update our understanding of the systems, the processes, the controls, and then go through a strategy and risk assessment process. And that's really ongoing throughout the audit. Based on our risk assessment, we develop our audit approach. During the audit, we did maintain continuous communication with management to make sure there were no issues and that we were meeting the reporting deadline. And then we ended with the conclusion and reporting phase, where we performed certain quality control procedures and other wrap-up procedures to be able to issue our opinion on the financial statements, which again was a clean opinion. Next page. This is just the core team members, me being the engagement partner, Paul Garrity, concurring partner, and then who is also on as the audit supervisor. Next page. As a part of every audit, we look at fraud considerations, and that, that's looking to see where the risks may be relating to fraud that may lead to material misstatement to the financial statements. And we perform certain procedures, including, conducting inquiries of management, performing brainstorming sessions with our audit team, reviewing journal entries, performing analytical procedures, and reviewing key estimates. We did not identify any fraud or any allegations of fraud. Next page. So this is really a summary of audit results. The critical accounting policies are disclosed to you in the footnotes of the financial statements. We looked at your revenue recognition policies, confirmed tuition and fees received from the City University of New York, and project funds received from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York. No issues, identified there. We confirmed cash and investments with financial institutions, and we also performed certain procedures surrounding accounts receivable, and again, no issues there. Next page. Liabilities, we did test transactions relating to contracts payable and amounts due to other governments. And we also performed a search for unrecorded liabilities to make sure your liabilities were not understated at year end. No issues there. So these are some of the required communications that we need to communicate to you as the audit committee. We did conduct our audit consistent with the plan scope. we maintained our independence throughout the engagement. Again, I mentioned that the accounting policies are included in the notes to financial statements. No issues with the accounting policies and how they were applied. We believe they're reasonable and consistently applied. Next page. There are no significant accounting estimates that we need to disclose to you. We did not, as I mentioned, identify any actual or suspected instances of fraud. Next page. We did not encounter any significant difficulties dealing with management, no uncorrected or corrected misstatements, no unusual transactions during the year. We did not have any disagreements with management. Before we issued our opinion, we did obtain a signed representation letter from management. We're not aware of any consultations that took place with other accountants. And we did not have any findings to report to you, no issues. So fairly clean audit. We did not identify any laws, non-compliance with laws and regulations. And we did review the unaudited required supplementary information, including the MD&A, that's management discussion analysis. And we noted that the information there was consistent with what was reflected in the audited financial statements. As a part of every audit, we do look at going concern issues, and we did not have any issues relating to going concern of the entity. So that concludes our presentation and the required communications. Are there any questions?
Yeah, hi. This is Vice Chairman Brian Oberfeld. For the record, I just hi. This is Vice Chairman Brian Oberfeld. For the record, I just have to ask you that you are telling the audit committee there are no red flags we should be concerned with. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. That is my one statement I'd like on the record. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
I hope you feel better.
Just one question. Sometimes
Sure.
at the end of an audit presentation, the auditors would say, you know, moving forward, it would be important for staff of the organization to think about this next year, or you know, might want to reevaluate or take a look. Any thoughts about that?
So I know there was somewhat of turnover in the accounting department or finance department, whatever you want to call it. So just making sure that, you know, there's a smooth transition in terms of, you know, the accounting and financial reporting processes. And again, I don't know all the details, but I think, you know, making sure you maintain sound controls, make sure that, you know, there are no cybersecurity risks. We you know, have certified information systems auditors that do take a look at IT controls and making sure there's no cybersecurity risks. So that's, you know, some of the things that I would bring to your attention.
Was that tech audit attached to this audit report? I hadn't seen that.
The what audit?
Was there a tech audit done, a technology audit? There wasn't.
No, we didn't do a technology audit, but we have IT auditors that work with the team to look at, you know, your general IT controls, but we didn't do a separate, we were not engaged to do a tech audit.
Thank you. And since we're just here, and I have a question also.
Sure, absolutely.
Since I'm new to the audit committee, I see in the audit that we talk about tuitions that are collected and fees, and it shows up a few times in the audit report. I was under the impression that the monies used for construction came from the state and was allocated by the state. So why would tuition collection be mentioned in a CUCF CUCF audit.
I can just answer that,
Please.
and please correct me if I'm wrong. There was a time when the construction fund used to issue its own bonds, and there was a black box where the tuition would cover the bond payments. So my understanding, when I asked this same question many years ago, was that the fund still collects all the tuition payments, even though DASNY issues the bonds. That's what I was told. Does anybody disagree with that, or is that,
No, that's correct.
that's correct, yeah. So
Okay.
that's why.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
But the funds are returned back to CUNY.
The funds are returned back, so we
Yeah.
collect them, and then we
CUNY
turn them
collects
back.
them,
That's right.
Sends them to us by state law, and then it goes back to CUNY.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
yeah, yes, it's a good pickup. Is anyone else have any questions, concerns, or comments?
No motion to accept.
Okay,
The audit
very,
findings.
okay, thank you. I'm gonna call for a vote. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, hearing none others, motion carries unanimously, and if there's no more business before the committee, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate
you.
everybody being on time. Okay.